The issue of trauma is huge when we think about the school-to-prison pipeline. Often, young people who end up getting caught up into disciplinary cycles that exclude them from school are young people who themselves have experienced trauma, and the trauma, if not responded to in a trauma-sensitive way, can both re-traumatize and reinforce to young people the fact that they cannot be a part of a community.
We're taking a lot into account in these 5 days at Georgetown around how we can get a group of adults, both in the school and in the community, to really rethink almost everything that we're doing with kids.
The research is showing that those kids are all having these issues, but we're in silos and we're not understanding that. So I'm thinking it's all school, and they're thinking it's all police, and they're thinking it's all the PO, and we're finding out that same kid is hitting in 4 of the 5 areas. So the research is there, and we're just not getting it. So our silos have to be broken down right now. So the research is clearly saying that to us.
A lot of people don't like to consider the fact that race is a factor, but the research shows that it certainly is. African American children enter the foster care system, enter the juvenile justice system in higher proportions than they are represented in the general population, and that it affects them in a very poor way.
The best thing we can do is to think about how we understand the context of these children's lives, that we pay attention to their behavior in school, even before it becomes significantly out of line with what we want it to be, to see if we can see those early flags and begin to respond to them in a different way.
For me, from a law enforcement perspective, I think there are policies that can be reviewed, and the less law enforcement is engaged in some of the minor policy violations of students in schools, and they're handling those and not using us as a resource to fix the problem, then I think we're much healthier.
It's partnering with child welfare, with behavioral health, your community partners, law enforcement, to understand better the context of that child's life and how best to support them to be ready to learn.
We're very hopeful that investing a little more upstream and not allowing these kids to drop out of school somewhere in middle school, that we will in fact really take a bite out of the school-to-prison pipeline.